Hi everyone, my name is Nadamwati and I am the HOD for the English Language and Literature Department. Today I will be sharing with all of you regarding the LIT elective that we offer to our Sec 3 G3 students. Now let me share with you the subject syllabus. In this school, literature subject is offered as an elective to the G3 students when they are in Sec 3. And this would mean that the students who offer to take Lit as an elective will be studying social studies as well as literature. Now, let me share with you about the nature as well as the duration of the paper. As an elective, students, when they do take the exams, they will be sitting for paper 2, and the duration of that paper is 1 hour and 40 minutes long. Now, this will constitute 50% of their combined humanities, where the other 50% will come from their social studies subject. And also for this paper, they will be sitting for 2 sections. There will be essay questions that they will have to answer, one from each section. One from the prose section, which is in section A, and it constitutes 25%. There will be 6 set texts that students will be studying, but every school will only need to select 1 set text. And I will be sharing with all of you later on which of the 6 set texts that Marsiling Secondary School will be offering. And then in section B, students will also have to answer 1 essay question pertaining to an unseen poetry. And section B is also 25%. As mentioned earlier, these are the texts that the students will be exposed to, and they will be learning these 2 texts over the course of 2 years in Sec 3 as well as Sec 4. So the set texts that Marsiling Secondary School has offered will be How We Live Now. And also for the unseen poetry, we will be referring to this textbook, which is titled Understanding Unseen Poetry. Now, let me share with you about the LIT elective text further. For the same text, in 2025, next year, the students will be studying How We Live Now. Now, this is an entirely new text, and their seniors will not have had any exposure to this text at all. So this particular text is actually a compilation of Singapore literature stories. And by reading this text, the students will be exposed to many short stories of different protagonists with varying age group as well as different backgrounds, and issues pertaining to grief and loss, disappointment and hope, as well as misplaced loyalties as some of the themes that the students will be exploring. For the unseen poetry, this is the text that the students will be studying. Now, in this text, students will be studying a variety of poems where they will be inferring the poem's stories, identifying the poem's themes, as well as evaluating the poem's unique style. Now, this is not so dissimilar or not so different from what they have been exposed to at lower secondary. The difference is there will be more literary devices that the students will be exposed to, and the complexity of the poetry that they will be exposed to will definitely be higher. Now, let me try to convince all of you why students really should consider offering LIT. Now, these are 3 reasons why. The first reason is because of the similarities in skills between lower sec as well as upper sec LIT syllabus. Now, at lower sec, the students will be exposed to this literary response framework, where we will guide the students to experience the story, and our conversations and discussions in class involve appreciating and recognizing a writer's craft or style, as well as interpreting themes that are surfaced in the poems that we are studying or in the stories that we are reading. So this is not so different when they move on to upper sec. The second reason is because if students were to offer literature elective when they are in secondary 3, the benefit of this is that there will be a reinforcement of skills for English language as well. So what you can see on your screen here will be the learning outcomes for both literature as well as English language. Now, in lit lessons, students are able to explore the range of possible meanings that are made available by writer's choice of words. And students will also be made to examine the effects of style on readers. Now, these are useful skills because when they move on to English lessons for paper 2 or their comprehension, there is a need for them to be able to understand and focus on the implied meaning that have been created by the writers. And they also will have to analyze grammatical and lexical items, as well as the different kinds of modes used in different contexts, be it the visual texts or in the prose that they will be reading in their paper 2. Now, the third reason why I strongly would encourage our students to offer literature at upper sec is again because moving on to talk about the reinforcement of skills is that in literature, students, when they learn how to make an informed response, how to write and convey what the writer intends to say through poetry or through the stories that they are reading. Similarly, they will learn these devices and try to employ them in their writing, in their composition during English lessons. And that is what I meant when I said that doing English literature at upper sec actually helps students to reinforce their skills for English as well. These are the desired student outcomes of literature. Apart from the 3 reasons that I have shared with all of you, these are the 4 student outcomes that we hope our students will be able to become if they are literature students. Now, through the poems that we are exposing our students to, as well as the stories that they will be reading, the students are made to discuss issues, and through those discussions and through the reading of the challenges that the protagonists face or the issues that have been raised in the poems that they have read, we hope that our students will grow to become empathetic and global thinkers. We also hope that there will be critical readers who will be able to analyze very closely the kind of meaning that is being conveyed through the words choice as well as the writer's style. We also hope that students will be able to not only analyze others' work, but will be good writers themselves, who will be creative meaning makers. And last but not least, that they will be convincing communicators through writing as well as through verbal sharing. Now, let me share with you what are some of the diploma subjects or diploma courses that are very much similar or linked to literature subject. Now, if we develop our students to be empathetic and global thinkers, some of the courses that would find these skills to be very relevant and useful would be courses on hospitality and tourism management, pharmaceutical science, nursing, as well as social work. For creative meaning makers, for students who are able to exercise their creativity and able to be creative in their word choice or in the creation of ideas through the use of words, some of the courses that would be relevant for them would be courses as such: architecture, experiential product and interior design, media, arts and design studies, as well as marketing. And last but not least, when our students are able to develop themselves as convincing communicators, then definitely the courses that I have listed here, such as mass communication, communication and media management, as well as law management, are some of the many other courses in polytechnics that would be relevant for them. Last but not least, I would like to share with you some key data that hopefully will help you to make a very good decision on whether or not you would want to consider literature at Upper Sec. Now, these are some important data that we have gathered based on our analysis of how our own literature elective students have performed for the past 4 years. So as you can see on the screen, the number of passes high from all the way from 2020 all the way to 2023. And also, majority of our students who are literature students, 90% of them normally will pass their English language at O levels, where 40% would score B3 and above. So that is all my sharing with all of you, and I hope that this video clip will help you to make a more informed decision on whether you would consider doing literature at Upper Sec. Thank you.